to the second annual Intelligent Assistant Awards. I'm Dan Miller, your host, and I have a set of distinguished judges that I would like to have introduce themselves, and then we'll get to the festivities.
Well, I was hoping you were going to pronounce my name.
Right, I was going to, okay. Nicholas Dekuchkovsky, done and done.
So, Nicholas Dekuchkovsky, I'm an advisory and consultant for B2B software company. I focus on customer-facing technologies. And before I've been doing that, I spent many years at Genesis, lately in a CMO capacity. So I've been watching that space for many, many years, seeing it as a potential to move the needle on this quest for providing great customer self-service.
I'm Amy Stapleton. I've been writing an independent blog called the Virtual Agent Chat blog for almost 3 years now. I'm just doing that kind of on the side. And I was one of the judges for the first annual Intelligent Assistance Awards last year.
And I'm Stas Rumyantsov. I'm with Wells Fargo Innovation Group. I spent quite some time working behind a commercial electronic office business portal. That's our B2B offering at Wells Fargo Bank. We spent a lot of time looking at customer experience, self-service, and I spent a lot of time managing the content teams in background. So everything we heard today about improving content, coming up with better self-service really fits in.
Very good. So just a little review. The Intelligent Assistance Awards we conceived of last year. We developed just a very short set of criteria that they work, that they be implemented, that people like them, that sort of stuff. This year, we sort of expanded the criteria to reflect some of the findings we had in our Enterprise Intelligent Assistant report. And there, we outlined the 8 attributes of distinguished or successful intelligent assistants. And mobile first being the first one, which actually became very interesting because as you heard, as you look at customers' journeys these days, because we're handling omni-channel, we know for a fact that we're still at well over half of these customer journeys start with a Google search. Now they may end up, going to a branded page. They may end up going to a mobile app. But in the long run, we really do think that these intelligent assistants will start out the ones that are with you all the time that you carry around and ergo are mobile are very important. Consistent responses across multiple channels or devices. So this came up in the last panel, that it's very important to have some knowledge management that is independent of any device or service or channel in an enterprise setting. Like to see the responses be based on in some ways on personal information. And that also, in the long run, will map to some kind of intelligent authentication or easy authentication, because you can't get personal unless you have high confidence that the individual that you're contacting is whom he or she claims to be. Supporting established KPIs, meaning that not only do you fulfill the customer's objectives, you're fulfilling some of the known business objectives and key performance measures of the company that's implementing it. And therefore, that there be some ROI because you're leveraging some of the existing infrastructure that's being employed to support a good customer experience. Machine learning, we talked about a successful track record. That was more, I should clarify, this had to do with the solution providers, whereas the awards are given to the actual companies that have implemented. So having a successful track record means that there's some customer satisfaction. And then future ready is one of these nice ambiguous terms that can be a make or break sort of thing. In terms of the criteria that our judges were advised to use, mobile first translated into an IVR that visual IVR could support that, support of multiple mobile operating systems and types of mobile devices. So those are sort of the criteria. Consistent responses across channels and devices means that the Q&A resource, the chat agents, and whatever comprises the actual virtual agent or intelligent assistant base is looking at the same knowledge. And the based on our surveys, there's a limited amount of information you can get to personalize at this point, but sort of recognizing the location of an individual, having some sense of their billing history and their consumption profile, and personalizing responses based on that is a plus. And I put preferably under user control. We don't know a lot about that, but it's certainly where we would like to go. And then supporting the established KPIs means that there could be success-based pricing that we've seen, user-defined reporting and analytics support of, by user-defined that would be, internal to the companies so that they can see how the thing is working, based on the metrics they're used to seeing. This year, we had 14 intelligent assistant entries in total. They represented 6 different verticals. And they were from 5 different countries and did use multiple languages, if you're listening, Brian Garr in the back. And there were some really impressive demonstrations of capabilities, and we're going to talk about this, because it was unfortunate that we had to limit recipients to 3, but that's how it happened. And anyway. Because we saw lifelike video avatars, we saw real-time advice for forms, filling and task completion, and we did see the evidence that we're moving from an assistant to a mobile coach and helper to get things done. So the verticals, if you were wondering, were travel, financial services, telecom, insurance, healthcare, and ticketing. There probably were others because they're so here's, it says the winners are, but so there's 3 winners. The first one that we're announcing is Amtrak's Julie. And yeah. We do have a plaque. Oh, Sabrel's coming up from the back. So the consensus among the judges, and we can, we should include.
It's okay. Coming from California, I'm shocked that the plaques are coming in a plastic bag, so I was concerned about that.
Oh, we had to steal a plastic. Oh, do we have a photographer? Oh, Doc's going to take a picture of it. Here, let's come down.
Just take a picture. You're welcome to say something too. But we're
Sabrel's on a panel tomorrow. You'll get to know him a lot better. Anybody want to, we did have a long discussion about what was good.
I spent a lot of time with Julie, so I actually had great conversation with Julie trying to figure out how to get from my place to the next place to another place to the place that does not exist. What I liked about Julie a lot was helping a user, taking away the burden of trying to find the right place within the website or try to write the right form. And she also takes on the task to fulfill some of the forms. I was able, after some struggle, to get Julie to populate the form and plan the journey for me. And that was significantly helpful. It actually does take away the tension and a bit of extra effort that comes to the user to figure out the planning phase of the trip.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I have the philosophy that I like to get my hands in there and actually try out the assistants when I'm doing the judging, and I was able to, easily find where Julie is on the Amtrak side. It's readily available, and it doesn't seem like just an afterthought. So it's, if you're someone that's going to plan a trip, you would naturally go there and look for her assistance. And again, there's just a lot of questions that she can help you with and actually fill out the forms for you as you're planning your trip. So I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm going to try not to repeat what was just said, but it's true that we played with the assistant trying to say stupid things, and what was pretty amazing is the relevance of the suggestions that came back. So that would be my third, I would say, contribution to what surprised us about this assistant.
And the screen-based Julie is relatively new compared to a long-standing phone-based Julie, and the results in terms of getting a ticket booked are impressively consistent. So I just want to add that there is a multi-channel element to it that was very much taken into consideration. So, So our second, and this isn't first, second, and third. These are three winners on a par. Is Telefonica Mexico's or Movistar's Nico, who I chose just based on good looks, but and its resemblance.
Personality.
Personality. But carry on. We'll go right to left this time.
Well, first, I need to pick up one. I think on this one, I want to commend the fact that there was a great user experience on both mobile and the desktop. And like we said, I think all the submissions were very impressive, but there were a material number that did not provide a usable mobile experience. And in this world where so many of those customer service inquiries are coming from mobile, it's very important. So that was pretty commendable for this submission.
I agree, and I also thought that the Nico branding was very effective. I mean, even though there's not a lot of animation or anything associated with the brand is consistent across all the different channels. So you can find Nico very easily on the website. You can find him on Facebook. He shows up in Twitter, and it's easy with that consistent branding for the customer to recognize that that's a self-service agent and know that they can go there with their inquiry. So I thought that was effective.
My turn to try not to repeat. I think the integration across channels is probably the most impressive part. It was very robust. I don't speak much Spanish. I tried very hard to mess with Nico. It was impressive, and it goes to branding. It's really easy to interact with. It's a lot easier to find. It's very easy to find across all the different channels, and even the results I got were impressive. So,
yeah, if I may, this is also one of the examples where the business impact, the metrics that were shared with us were pretty impressive. I think they have more than, if I recall correctly, 60% of in-channel resolution. That is very, very impressive.
And our third is ING Netherlands Inge. Here again, we will see a demo of it.
we start in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, we should start in the middle this time.
Okay. Well, I think with the ING agent, this is one of those where you can kind of see the evolution of how intelligent assistants are transforming themselves from being more of the answering questions to providing assistance and doing transactions and taking on different a whole different role. I thought we kind of talked about that some in the last panel, and with this particular assistant, it had a lot of capabilities. It was obviously very much focused on mobile first. It had the voice capability. It had the it could carry out transactions for the customer. So that was really impressive.
Well, it was very challenging because of my limitation in Dutch. But the thing I'd like to single out is they got to the point where the set of capabilities that the Intelligent Assistant, there's also some biometric they brought to the application, is really starting to transform the experience with the application. So that is probably the point I would like to single out today.
Definitely agree. I think the impressive part was we talked about assistance as an addition to the website or any other channel application itself. With Inge, you can see how the intelligent system becomes an application. It allows you to interact. It allows you to complete transactions. It allows you how experience of the user, and it stops being an assistant. It becomes what you do with a bank. It was very impressive.
Valère. So, as I mentioned, there were 14. Thank you. They're coming to. Anyway, so there were 14 submissions, and it was really, really hard. And I think we should have some comments on at least a couple of the others. You know, David in the last panel had mentioned Optus, and it was very close. There were some real important aspects of the multi-channel consistency in the Optus as well.
Yep.
And as well, very, very impressive business metrics. So I come, of course, from the customer service space where everything is measured, and immediately you look at the ROI, you look at the adoption, you look at the in-channel resolution, the effectiveness of this touch point, and the stats were very, very impressive. I think we're going to keep on saying very, 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 and turn like Donald Trump or something like that.
One of the things that I really liked about the Optus solution too, just looking back at my notes, was there was the ability to do some troubleshooting, because I would ask, you know, questions about or say, hey, I can't get my phone to connect to the internet, and the agent would actually come back with some steps for me to carry out to see if it could get me back into service without me having to, you know, call an agent. So I thought that was good.
Or do a hard reset.
Yeah.
And there were two healthcare examples that were very results oriented in terms of helping with form filling, with having a live looking avatar on a page pointing to the part of the page that, you know, would deserve your attention. These were Access Health and Highmark. Mm-hmm. I don't know if either of you would want to.
Well, you have to live in America to appreciate how sophisticated the system has become. So when you start to see some of the responses and the way you can be guided through pretty complex questions, that was impressive. So I'm the proud father of 4, and I already have experience with some of my kids, some of the issues or questions you might have in terms of coverage, and it was impressive the type of responses you would get. Also back to a topic that is near and dear to my heart, the results were impressive. I think I forgot which one of the project was able to show results where they were able to sign up new customers through the assistant, and I thought it was very impressive. Because it's a difficult decision with many ramifications, and I'm sure at the last minute you want to give it some extra thought. So that was impressive to me.
I thought it was also interesting how, specifically with the healthcare examples, with Highmark and with Access Health, the assistants seemed to be created with specific user sets in mind. Like they were really targeted, like in the Access Health. And I think Paul talked about it when he was up here previously. You're really looking at guiding people that this is their first interaction. They're very nervous and confused about how to sign up for healthcare, so they need like a guide that can reassure them and can make sure it gets them through the whole process without them abandoning that cart. So it was very targeted, and I thought that was a good use of that capability.
And a number of those had actually a very good way to help users find the right information. Kind of going back to Julian through the health examples we had as well, finding the right information is harder, and for the target audiences who don't understand the health as an issue, it doesn't matter how much you spend organizing the website, it'll be very hard to get to the right place. So using the assistants to navigate them, get them to the right place, provide accurate information and help fulfill the forms, it's incredibly helpful. It makes it a lot easier.
So we are seeing sort of a transition from sort of a static assistant question answer to a results-oriented advisor, assistant, guide, and we're very pleased to see so many submissions and encourage people to submit. We expect more next year, I should say, and it's been a pleasure to work with my judging fellows and fella. Wait, I don't even know what the feminine equivalent.
Can I just make one more comment, too?
Absolutely.
I do want to say that it's, when we as judges don't have necessarily access to all the information, so I think some of the solutions that have, rich integration with the live call agents, or maybe they have like their ability to hand off to a call agent, or they have a lot of capabilities on the back end for the, for analytics. We didn't have access to that, so some of those that have, a richer ecosystem along those lines may have been a little bit disadvantaged. That's something to take into account perhaps when we do the contest next time.
We all want to steadily improve.
Right. But from my perspective, I rank them all really, really close, and it was just minor little subjective things that would, have one above the other. So I didn't want anybody to feel like, they were, I thought they were all very, very good solutions.
Yes, as did we all. So thanks to the judges, thanks for those that submitted, and congratulations to the winners. And up next, there's sort of a little break, unless they're already set up outside, but there's, thanks to Get Abby. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, right up here. Thank you.